Hello, hello.
How's it going?
Good yourself?
Doing just fine, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for
No,
taking the time.
no worries at all.
Man, you have a nice collection behind you.
Yeah, thank you. Now my drums
So do
over
I.
there.
But not
Yeah,
guitar, sorry.
I know. Yeah, no, you have something a bit more prettier, I guess.
I beg to differ.
Yeah.
Those are really cool guitars. What's the silver one right there?
It was actually I got it at an auction. It was a Paul Stanley mock guitar.
I thought it was there was some Paul Stanley going on there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't know how legit it was, but yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, thanks for talking to a drummer.
Oh, no, no worries. I've had a few ones. So, I mean, the podcast actually turned around to be a bit of everything, which is
Oh
really
well,
cool.
yeah. That's what my publicist was telling me that you do all musicians. So I'm honored to
Yeah,
be a part of it.
yeah, no, thank you. I mean, I grew up with my brother. He's a drummer, so we grew up together. So I've always been around drums. I teach
Oh,
beginners
perfect.
drums, so I really appreciate the drums.
Hey, Eddie Van Halen started out playing drums, so you know,
Exactly. You got it. And he's my favorite. So yeah,
right? Yeah, I
yeah,
know. I see an Eddie guitar back there. I see the Frankenstein style.
yeah, got a few there.
Got a couple. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah. Now,
Imagine what the history of that band would have been if Alex would have stayed on guitar and Eddie stayed on drums. Like,
I,
imagine what would have happened. Who knows?
yeah,
So
that's
weird to
right.
think about that.
Yeah, I always think that as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, thankfully, he had that paper out. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw that in the little documentary about them. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, speaking of Van Halen, we're about to go on tour in Europe with Alter Bridge, and Wolfie is opening
I
Mammoth.
know. How awesome is that?
Have you seen him before, or seen that band yet? Or
I mean, I've got the CD and I've seen him on, live on videos, but and I saw what he did at the Taylor Hawkins tribute, which is just incredible.
that was really cool, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
amazing.
Very cool. Just I always knew he was such a multifaceted musician. He can play every instrument.
Mm.
I met him when he was like 17 or something like that, when he was really young, and he was just talking about, like, I was just like, oh, you ever go here or do this? He's like, no, I spent all my time in my room just learning songs and learning how to play instruments. I'm like, man, like, that's dedication, and it's paid off, because
Oh
now
yeah.
his band is crushing it
Mm.
on their debut. And I mean, definitely doesn't hurt to have those Van Halen genetics, but I didn't realize how incredible of a singer and songwriter he is. He's got those incredible skills, and I'm just like, man, all the more reason to just be like, fuck you, man, with all your talent.
I know.
He's like, I've always felt the same way about Dave Grohl, like being like one of the most incredible drummers, and then another drummer who became a guitar player and singer and songwriter, and
Yeah.
just like, man, like, seriously, stop showing off.
Yeah. But even his drum skills are incredible as well. You hear I mean, I'm guessing you've heard all the album, the Mammoth.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I was very taken aback by how good it is.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to expect, but I'm really excited. We did a short tour with them, with Blackstone Cherry and Stuntable Pilots, last spring, and but he only played a handful of shows, so I'm really excited that he's doing like a long tour with us.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, good for him, man. A bright future right there.
Oh yeah. Is that in Europe where you're doing that tour?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're doing Europe, and then immediately after that, we're coming to down under. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited to get down to Australia, because it's going to be summertime
Yeah,
for you. I'll be
exactly.
skipping winter. We're going to freeze to death in Europe for this winter tour, and then we're just going to go straight to Australia in February, and just it's going to be amazing.
That's so cool. Yeah, I mean, I always try and get out of Melbourne. When winter comes, I'm off to Thailand. So
Oh, dude, that's a place I would love to go to. I haven't been there yet. We were supposed
oh
to
really?
play there once, but didn't work out. So I'm hoping that at some point I can just go. I would love to just stop there on the way back from like Japan or something.
Yeah,
Spend a week there. That's so
yeah.
cool that you get to go there. I've heard it's incredible. And my girlfriend does Muay Thai fighting, so she really wants to go over there and kind of experience like the authentic Muay Thai, like where it originated out there. It's really
Well,
fascinating.
that's what I do. I actually organise trips and we go over and do Muay Thai over in Thailand. So there you
No
go.
way, you do
Yeah,
Muay Thai? Oh man, well next time you come to, if you ever come to Nashville, we got to take you to Chonburi. That's my girl's gym,
okay.
and the guy that owns it is from Chonburi, Thailand, and he teaches very authentic
Yeah.
a style of fighting, the very traditional style,
Oh
which
yeah.
is just incredible. It's an art.
Oh, it is. They're amazing over there. I mean, just like we try and go once a year. I mean, before pandemic, we were going once a year, but we're off again in December to January for 5 weeks. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. See, I would totally do Muay Thai, but I need my wrists and my fingers and my shoulders and elbow. Like I need all my joints to like not hurt all the time. They already do hurt all the time. I don't want to add any extra aggravation to my body that I already give it just from
Yeah.
playing drums. So maybe someday it'd be fun to get into.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, my wife's from Thailand as well, so that helps. So
Oh, perfect. Well, that's awesome. I think you and your wife and me and my girl will become fast friends. And I
yes.
think that you'll all have so much to talk about. And I'll just sit there and just be like, yeah, wow, interesting. Yeah, that's cool. Teeps, yeah, teeps, hooks, jab, cross. Yeah, that's great. All that good stuff.
There you go. You just twirl your sticks.
Just twirl sticks. My girl's got a deadly teep. Like she could send like a 200-pound man like up against the brick wall. Bam,
That's really cool.
Powerful teep.
Yeah, so you have a bag at home as well?
No, we had a bag. Like during the pandemic, we got a heavy bag off of like Facebook Marketplace, and we hung it up on my back porch. But no, she much prefers doing pad work.
Yeah.
And doing combos. And now she's been sparring for a while too. She didn't want to do sparring for a while, but now she is doing it like pretty regularly, and she's killing it. She is just has such an incredible analytical mind. Like well, as you know, Muay Thai is more of it's definitely as much of a brain sport
Oh yeah.
as it is a physical sport. So she's really smart. So she's just wicked with remembering combos and dishing them out. Like I would love for her to go pro, but it's tough, like with my schedule and with her work, and it requires a lot of dedication, a lot of I think the hardest part that I could imagine being a professional Muay Thai fighter, because we know a lot of them through Chonburi, is all the weight cutting and weight like having to like really cut weight. Like that just sounds like the hardest part, to try to get in the right weight class, for like TBAs and things like that. But one of her best friends is a badass fighter, and she's done it professionally for a while. It's crazy just seeing what you see when you watch fights is like just the fight part, but just hearing about all the things behind the scenes that you have to do in order to do it professionally, like it's just a lot of work, man. It's crazy.
Oh, it is, because I teach the sparring class at a club here in Melbourne.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, I always say it's a bit like music, because you're really building up your repertoire, like your different combinations. So when it comes to sparring,
my bass player tells me, like, dude, you'd be great at it because it's rudiments, like paradiddle, paradiddle.
Got it, exactly.
Like, I guess it kind of would be like that, I guess.
I was just going to say, that's the way I think about it. Yeah, you do the left, right, left, left, and the right, left.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, so we love it over there, so it's great.
That's cool, man. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off about.
No.
I have a tendency to go off on a lot of different topics. Like I also have a love for perfumery. As you can tell, these are all fragrance bottles behind me.
Yes.
And I have my own YouTube channel where I talk about fragrance. I review fragrance called Dr. Magnificent. Actually, let me show you something I just got from my fragrance studio. Ta-da!
Hey, there we go.
That's one of my catchphrases. Stay smelly. So that was like the first like adult purchase I made for my YouTube page besides my subscribe sign, which was like $4.
Yeah, I watched some last night actually.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, I watched it in subscribe.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was actually before you called, I was just getting my bottles together. When I travel, I take my fragrances and I put them in these little decants. So I have a couple here. I've got like No Limits by Philip Plein, Royal Oud by Creed. I got Stronger With You Oud by Armani, Tobacco Oud Intense by Tom Ford. I just basically take like my bottles and I transfer them into these little travel sprayers, and that way I can take them with me, and I can still like turn other. I can't wait to go to Europe and turn all the Alter Bridge guys and all the Mammoth guys onto all these scents. And I also try to be kind of a consultant when it comes to like people in the touring world, people that I interact with all the time, just to like try to like take bits and pieces of their personality, get a background of the stuff that they kind of like, and then kind of narrow it down to like their perfect signature scent. So I've been having a lot of fun doing that. I turned a lot of the Lilith Czar people onto certain ones. Lilith Czar herself loves Angel Share by Killian. I turned on her guitar player to Vodka on the Rocks by Killian, her sound guy onto Leighton by Parfums de Marley. It's just been a really fun distraction from how grueling the touring can be. I find that fragrance and making fragrance content has kind of become a little bit of a therapy for me, just trying to keep myself balanced and keep myself distracted and busy on tour. Because obviously music has been my therapy. Songwriting has been my therapy for forever, like to get through everyday life. But even when you do that long enough, you need another distraction from that sometimes. And that's where fragrance has kind of been that for me, because I find it like music of the nose. I have so much respect for perfumers and how they create them and how they put them together, that I just wanted to get on YouTube and like start talking about them, and maybe turn on some Halestorm fans and some people in the rock world and the music world onto this other passion that can kind of be therapeutic too.
That's really good. So
honestly, it was therapeutic for me during the pandemic when we didn't have any touring, because I definitely felt a lot for the music fans, kind of underlining how therapeutic live music can be for them, especially.
Yeah, for sure. So can you go past someone, and if they go, have a perfume, I go, hey, I know what that is.
I wonder if anyone's actually been able to identify one. I've done that to people. Where they walk past me and I'm like, Backcourt Rouge 540. And they're like, oh my God. Because I have like hundreds of samples, and I've got like probably like maybe 200 something bottles of just of mainstream scents, a very niche and very exclusive scents. So sometimes when I smell something like the other day, I was hanging out with this one friend of ours. His name is Stryker, and I was like, "You're wearing Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford, aren't you? I can smell the spice." So a couple times I've been able to identify certain ones, but I don't think anyone's been able to identify any that I've worn, because what I like, the ones that I personally wear, the ones that I personally gravitate to, are the ones that are kind of more off the beaten path. Things like African Leather by Memo Paris that like nobody really knows about, or Grand Soir by Maison Francis Kurkdjian in that gorgeous bottle. Just like I just like more obscure stuff anyway. So a lot of I get a lot of compliments on them, and I think that my passion started from the first years of touring, where you're like, okay, you're in an RV, you're parking at Walmart parking lots on the days off, and you're doing meet and greets, and you really don't know when you're going to find a shower. Like if you find a shower, you use it, because you never know when the next one is going to, be available. But I felt like it was a good way to kind of like counteract the bus funk, I guess, just being on tour and not being able to shower is like, okay, well, I just would bring like a nice scent out with me, just so I wouldn't be offensive. But then it kind of turned into an interactive thing. I was like, you know what, like when these fans come to meet us and meet and greets and things like that, which we hopefully will bring back very soon. We want to dress our best. We want to be engaging. We want to show people our best, because we know that they're showing us their best. When I meet people, they're showing me their best self. So I also want to smell my best, So that's kind of also been another reason why I wanted to bring a nice plethora of scents with me when I travel.
Yeah. So I guess all the other bands would love it too. Like, hey, we have to get Halestorm. They smell really nice.
You know what? If that helps us get more tours, then I'm glad I can do my part. I've given a few people headaches, though. I have to be careful with some of them. Some of them are very strong. So maybe working against us. Maybe, I don't know. I hope not.
Yeah. So you're bringing some down next year for the tour?
Oh, I'm bringing a ton of them down under. I'm going to bring my summer scents. I've got a couple of them right here in front of me. I'm going to bring Tonka 25 by Leila Beau, which has been a staple of mine. Costa Azura by Tom Ford. This is the private bottle, very exclusive.
Ooh,
and that's become like a new favorite. And then, of course, like, I think the King Daddy here is Gentle Fluidity Silver by Maison Francis Kurkdjian, which is like one of my favorite niche brands. So I will definitely be bringing my nice, fresh, clean summer scents down there to enjoy the warm weather by the ocean. And I can't wait to get there. I can't wait to eat the food. I can't wait to just be immersed in the culture because all y'all are just really nice. Everyone in Australia, everyone I've met in Australia, like everyone's just really friendly. I don't know if y'all are just doing that for me or if you're like that all the time. But I'd like to think that y'all are just really cool, chill people down there, you know?
Yeah,
if I could be so blunt by saying.
No, yeah, we try to be. It's just like, no worries, whatever, you know.
Nice. I love it. Nice, mate. I love it.
You got it.
It's so great. So I'm excited about every aspect. It's one of those countries where I'm like, well, one of those continents, I should say, where, you know, I was like, okay, you know, if for some reason it didn't work out with America, I could live there, you know.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I love it down there.
Yeah, that's great. Now, I was watching your one of the YouTube clips last night from Pennsylvania, what the tour that you did.
Oh, damn.
And I was watching your the drum solo was on there, and where you bring out those big sticks.
Oh, yeah.
So, are you bringing those to Melbourne or to the tour?
Oh, of course. We can't do a show without them.
Ah, cool.
They're a staple of the Halestorm show. If we don't do it, then the fans will get pissed. They'll get upset.
Yeah, that was really good. And your drum solo, I don't know if you've ever seen, Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Where he does that.
The invisible drum kit.
Yeah,
oh,
you got
dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's what it reminds me of, but real drums.
I was raised on Rowan Atkinson. I was raised on British humor.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was raised on what is it? Monty Python, of course.
Yeah.
You know, Eddie Izzard, things like that. And of course, Mr. Bean was, Rowan Atkinson is a huge one, but we loved Mr. Bean. But when I was a little older, I discovered his one-man show, even though it wasn't just him, he had other people involved, but his live act was absolutely genius. You know, that is just like comedy at its most like idiosyncratic. It's just that I'll always be a fan of him.
Yeah.
I can't say the same for the Johnny whatever those movies are. The secret agent movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I should give him another chance.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah,
but old school Rowan Atkinson, that was amazing. Yeah, that stuff is incredible. And his little invisible drum kit, I just remember like jaw dropping, like this is so genius.
Oh yeah, that was really cool. But yeah,
I'd love to pay tribute to him by doing something like that someday, maybe.
Well, it reminded me of it. Like when you did your solo, and you're going around the drums, like, hey, is Mr. Bean there?
He actually got up and stood around and ran around the drums. Like maybe I'll have to add a few more toms for that.
You see that little cat on the end.
Yeah. I haven't added one of those to my drum kit yet. I don't think it's very ethical.
No, that's right.
I love animals too much.
But no, you guys sounded great though live, so I really can't wait to see it live when you come.
I'm excited to get back down there. Another factor that I love about playing Australia is just getting to go back to playing venues where we're a little closer to the audience, because we're still building in Australia. In the US, where we finally kind of graduated to playing small arenas and amphitheaters with package tours and things like that, and big festivals. But it's fun to go to other markets that we're still building in, because it kind of takes us back to our old starry-eyed excitement days, playing tiny little. I mean, not that we're gonna do. We're playing really nice rooms now in Australia, which I'm thankful for. But when we started playing in the States, when we first got signed, before anyone knew who we were like the opener band at these little stanky, like tiny little clubs, and we were loving every minute of it. So it always kind of takes us back when we get to play Australia, New Zealand, Japan, or South America, things like that, where we get to go back and kind of play more intimate venues and get to be a little, there's a magic to that, to being that close to, especially for me as a drummer, because I'm the one kind of far up in the back, and sometimes I'm like Oh, hello, ants. Like,
Yeah,
but playing, clubs and theaters like that, it's fun to kind of be up close to the crowd, really feel that energy.
yeah, for sure. Now, sorry, do you have another interview coming through now?
Oh, that's okay. Did you get everything you wanted to get for this
Oh,
one? Anything
yeah.
else last minute or?
No, no, I just
It
noticed
was
the
just a
time.
fun. Honestly, this was just a fun, casual chat.
Yeah.
Thanks for the hang. This was great.
No, anytime. Yeah. Whenever you're free, let me know. I'd love to have you on.
Let's do it again. Absolutely. Let's set it
Yeah,
up through my peeps, man.
no problem. I'll be there. Yeah, 'cause I
And
mean,
I'll see you in Melbourne.
yeah, for sure. 'Cause I'd love to talk to you about the album as well, but we can do that next time.
Oh, we'll talk about the album. We'll talk about what scents I'll be bringing, and
Yes.
I'll have you test some out. We'll find your
Yeah.
scent.
All right.
Do you have a scent?
Not really. No, I've got some.
We'll find it.
Yeah, you'll find it. Yeah, that's it. All
Until
right.
then, all right, dude. Well, thanks so much for taking the time,
No,
man.
great. Thanks, RJ, and I'll see you in Melbourne.
All right, see you in Melbourne. See you later, bud.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.